Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Shout out to everybody in the chat as I'm getting situated. Listen, oh my God. I'm a little surprised nobody's talking about this lawsuit. Let's get it together. We have so much to cover. Shout out to everybody. Let me make sure my audio's on point and that my headphones, AirPods, are connected to my device. Here we go. Air point. Yep. Hold up. I hear myself talking. Okay, here we go. Is this it right here? Yeah. Here we go. Let me close that out. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, Oneida. Shout out to you. Hey, Glow, Pamela, welcome. Cheeks is driving and listening. Be careful, Cheeks. Don't be texting and driving, okay? Ada, Pika, Shelly Kelly. I got my coffee on a Christmas cup. And yes, I know that we're like well into the summer and I'm still drinking from holiday cups. Chell has gifted a membership. Shout out to Chell. If you got a membership from Chell, put a heart in the chat. Thank you. Hey David, how you doing, love? Is it Cahoots? Welcome. Your avatar's so cute. How cute. All right, welcome everybody. Thank you guys. Chat says welcome. I'm noticing a lot of new folks in here. Lovey Cat. Hey Monica, how you doing? Me, you, welcome, welcome. All right, everybody. Let's see. Who else do I have? Pika's in the house. Thank you, Pika, for being here. Tiki, thank you. Whoo-wee, you guys, we have so much to get into. And I was initially going to do I was going to do like two topics in a live, but I honestly don't think that based on this lawsuit, it needs to be divided. Like I was going to talk about Clayton and the whole Laura Owens thing into the timeline. That's going to be a separate live because there's no way I can cut that into it would literally be like 3 hours of a live, so it's better for me to separate them. Just rant, welcome, thank you for being here. All right, y'all ready to get into this because we have to get into this lawsuit. Tina, Bunny, hopefully Flossie joins us unless she's in the chat already, because Flossie was literally, thank you so much, Peggy, shout out to you. Flossie was like saying, listen, you got to look into the paternity stuff that was going on with this whole situation. Yeah, Nate the lawyer is awesome. Shout out to Nate the lawyer. I love me some Nate the lawyer. He's awesome. Tina, welcome. All right, Bunny Advocate. I think everybody's here. Hey, Bo. Um, welcome, welcome as my phone is going off. Welcome. All right. So, for those that don't know, by the way, it was Mel B. Mel B is Scary Spice from the Spice Girls, for those that don't know. And the ex-husband, Stephen Belafonte, and Scary Spice, Mel B, were married for like 10 years. They had a really brief reality TV show at one point, okay? And the little episodes that you see there is very, very much interesting. Very interesting episodes. But I remember that at one point, Mel B, when she was divorcing Belafonte, she kind of she wrote like a couple books, and in two books specifically she said that she was in a very abusive relationship. She kind of basically put that out there as far as her ex-husband. They shared children together. Now what I didn't know that I recently found out was that she actually doesn't have custody of her children. That's interesting. Now, that's not to say like God knows what's in between that. What does that mean exactly? But Stephen Belafonte is fighting back. He's saying, I'm going to sue you for defamation. I'm going to sue you because there's a lot of things that you've said that are untruths. And the way I see it is that if that is the case, then we really need to talk about what's been going on. It's been a lot that's been said, and folks don't even want to dig into the dirt of this right here. They don't. They don't. Did y'all know about this? Did you guys know about the little in betweens and everything? She doesn't have custody of one of the one that she shares with him. And it's been said now. Okay, If you go back, I did an interview with her ex hairstylist. His name is Gary. Ex hairstylist. Actually, there's a litigation ongoing with him and Mel B. And there was a lot that was said about that. Part of this also involves who? Who's the doctor with all the meds that said that he would get Britney on meds right away? Y'all remember that doctor? We talked about him. We exposed him here too. There is a lot here that people aren't digging into. So we're going to dig into it. I want to read this lawsuit. I'm going to go to, I'm not going to get into the technical stuff like the change of venue, yada, yada, yada. This lawsuit is available for the public. And I'm actually going to make sure that it's in the description box of this video so you guys can check it out. But actually, Mr. Belafonte, he actually posted it on his IG so people can check it out. And People Magazine are reporting on this. ET is reporting on it. Yeah, the doctor, the crazy doctor, that doctor. Yeah. So that doctor is Mel B's personal doctor. And it was alleged, at least Gary was kind of giving us the impression that there might have been some stuff that was, that he was doing as a doctor to the Hollywood people, like prescriptions and whatnot. Okay. That he wasn't supposed to be doing and misusing his title. Okay. Allegedly. All right. But I want to read this lawsuit because I think it's very interesting. And I think it's important that, if Mr. Belafonte feels like he was lied on, that he should sue. And he is. And I'm amazed that I mean, honestly, like, we'll see who's telling the truth about what actually happened. And I have not read this lawsuit. So I'm reacting here with you guys. Okay. All right. You guys ready? Let me know. I got my coffee. Sure do. All right, so here we go. Stephen Belafonte is the plaintiff, and Melanie Janie Brown, who AKA is Scary Spice, okay? Plaintiff Stephen Belafonte, through his undersigned counsel or his attorney, files this complaint for damages, injunctive relief against defendant Melanie Brown, aka Mel B, Miss Brown, defendant, and alleged the following. Here are the preliminary statements. This is what we're going to get into. The actions arise from a total takedown of plaintiff by his celebrity ex-wife, Miss Brown, known as Mel B of the Spice Girls, who has spent the better part of the last decade engaging in a deliberate and wide-ranging campaign to cause him severe emotional distress and destroy his reputation. Ms. Brown has stopped at nothing to falsely charge plaintiff with crimes and horrific offenses, including physically beating, raping, financial abuse, emotional abuse, sex trafficking, and illegal gun possession. You think that really is that what this is about? Leah's like, listen. Let me know what y'all listen. No appointment, no opinion is wrong. You guys got to let me know what you think. Okay? Because I think it's very ballsy to file a lawsuit on somebody that if you feel like if the evidence is on your side and you want to exonerate your name and tell the people what's going on, this would be the way to do it, right? And I would also imagine that it would be hard given that you are the father of her children. You would have to imagine that would be kind of awkward and weird, and there's certain things that y'all can't talk about with those children. But if he has custody of the child, just kind of make you wonder the ins and outs of that whole thing. Just a joke. Because like, look, I was just joking. Shout out to you. Now, I do want to point something out. I noticed that as soon as this lawsuit dropped, immediately Mel B's PR team had to do something to minimize the traffic of this lawsuit. I'm not joking. So when I was looking this up, I couldn't initially find it. The reason I found it is because I just happened to see the screenshot of it on Mr. Belafonte's IG. I said, oh, Okay, because Mel B's got some PR people that can definitely publish some articles about her. So this lawsuit dropped a day ago, and let me explain to you. Look, this is how you make the internet hush hush about you. 7 hours ago, Spice Girls Mel B, Jerry Holloway, and Emma leaked conversation leave, blah, blah, blah. Jerry Holloway makes Instagram blunder for Mel B's birthday. Spice Girls feud from lesbian romp to tour troubles 59 minutes ago. So suddenly, all this information about the lesbian troubles, about Mel B, and conversation is drowning the lawsuit that Mr. Belafonte filed against Mel B. That shit doesn't happen on like that is on purpose, y'all. You do realize that. Mel B knows that this would have, they're waiting for bloggers to talk about this. I'm a little surprised no other bloggers are talking about it. So they bring up the Spice Girl stuff up to drown out this lawsuit. That's what I find to be interesting. But we going to read the lawsuit, okay? Because that's what we do over here. And we're going to pay attention to the things that people want us to be distracted from, okay? Here we go. This action arises from a total takedown. We read that part. The long brewing harassment orchestrated by Ms. Brown began with the fraudulent claim of domestic violence in 2017, which Ms. Brown dismissed shortly after filing, but just before plaintiff had his day in court, despite claiming that Mr. Belafonte would and could hurt me and my children, intending for such statements to be broadly disseminated to the international gossip press. Ms. Brown soon dismissed her own baseless claims, gave Mr. Belafonte primary custody of their minor child, and was forced to pay out over $500,000. He was forced to pay out over $500,000. That's right, my blues. Listen, even the famous person needs a good PR team. You ain't never lie about that one. That's right. That's right. So that's interesting. That this is a good point to kind of point out that like this allegation was out there and now he has custody of their daughter. How does that happen? How does that happen? Shout out to everybody from the UK. Look at everybody. Oh my God. Oh my wonderful people. Where is Wim? Shout out to Wim. He's probably sleeping. Shout out to Wim if you're listening to this. You said, I have no doubt he did some heinous things to her. She was covered in bruises on the X Factor. Ooh, guess what? Snowy White Pete. That picture is in this lawsuit. That picture is in this lawsuit. Hold on to your pearls, okay? If you're wearing pearls or your Chucks, whichever one. Hold on to them because that picture's in here. I did see that one here, all right? Y'all ready for this one? Miss Brown's campaign of abuse has continued to the present day with the 2024 republication of her best-selling book about her marriage to plaintiff, wherein Miss Brown has leveraged her 30 years of fame to attack Mr. Belafonte in a malicious and vindictive global smear. From lying to the courts and the public about Mr. Belafonte beating her, causing a split lip, swollen face, to fabricating a jealous attack over the recording artist Usher during a filming as a judge on the reality competition series X Factor. Ooh. You don't know what a Chuck is? Oh my gosh. Converse. We call those Chucks. I'm from Cali, so when I say give me my Chucks, I mean give me my Converse. So that's what I say. Either clutch your pearls or hold on to your Chucks, because that's like hold on to your Converse. Yeah, I know. You're like, God, she's so crazy. All right. No way. This is Leah. Don't you think if he's saying that this was fabricated, like Snow White P said, like, listen, I remember that. We gotta get into it. We gotta get into it. Okay. Yes, I'm originally from Cali. You're from the Bay Area? Ooh, all right. We'll have to talk. Okay. Let me get into this over here, right here. Okay. So So, from lying to the courts and the public about Mr. Belafonte beating her, causing her a split lip and swollen face, to fabricating a jealous attack over the recording artist Usher during a filming as a judge on the reality competition series The X Factor, to incredible stories of Mr. Belafonte cutting her funds, leaving her with no credit cards, no internet, and only $936 in her bank account. Whoa. Miss Brown has been profiting off of her public lies as she portrays Mr. Belafonte as a monster on global television in media appearance and in her ironically named book with co-writer Louise Gannon, Brutally Honest, the Sunday Times bestsellers. Okay. Defendant relentless attacks have been calculated to ensure maximum coverage of her false narrative and exact maximum damage to Mr. Belafonte's reputation and emotional state, to say nothing about the effects on their biological daughters, whose primary custody was telling awarded to Mr. Belafonte. That's interesting. Yeah, he does have primary custody of their child. Okay. In recent statements to the media, defendant has told the world, "I'm telling the truth because Mr. Belafonte has never sued me." After staying quiet through years of continuous emotional attacks in order to protect his young daughter from a drawn out and public litigation and suffering from humiliation and severe emotional distress, while his ex-wife did everything she could to destroy him, Mr. Belafonte is still with no choice but to stand up for himself and expose Mel B's lies to the court and the world. Oh my God. Here we go, y'all. It's time. 2024 is here. It's time to expose. Let's go. Let's see what Mr. Belafonte has to say about this, okay? Mm-hmm. Statement of cause. Following a 10-year tumultuous marriage during which Miss Brown repeatedly harassed, mistreated Mr. Belafonte, Miss Brown filed for divorce. Miss Brown exploited the divorce proceedings to abuse and harass Mr. Belafonte, including by depriving him of access to his daughter for several months and having him removed from his home. Well, if you're divorcing, I wouldn't want to be in the same room, but that's just my thought. Miss Brown's vexatious litigation of the couple's divorce left Mr. Belafonte with no choice but to defend himself against the numerous false allegations Ms. Brown brought against him so that he could gain custody of and maintain a good relationship with his daughter MB. Hold up, let me read that again. Had no choice but to defend himself against the numerous false charges Ms. Brown brought against him so that he could gain custody. Okay, so that he could gain custody and maintain a good relationship with their daughter, MB. Notwithstanding Miss Brown's efforts to brand Mr. Belafonte a violent spouse and an unfit father, labeling him as a monster and an abuser, Mr. Belafonte has had primary custody of MB since 2019. During this time, Miss Brown has barely maintained a relationship with MB, visiting her in the United States only once during the past 4 years, even though she has flown to the United States for work-related appearances and tapings on multiple occasions to appear on Inter Alia, Americans Got Talent, in Los Angeles, talk shows in New York City, and television shows in Utah. Moreover, Ms. Brown frequently rejects to practice the daily court-ordered telephone calls to MB for multiple days at a time, having accepted only 15 of MB's 30 phone calls in the past month. Attach our Exhibit 1 is a message report from our family wizard, the couple's co-parenting app, showing Ms. Brown's frequent rejection of MB's phone calls. Wait a minute. So she doesn't have custody of her daughter. Her daughter's calling her to connect with her. She's in the US working, and she's rejecting phone calls from her daughter. I think the daughter is, I want to say she's in her teens. Don't quote me, but I think like 12 or 13 at this point. No, if not younger, I don't know. This is really sad. So you mean to tell me that she's been calling And she's been in the US taping, and there's court ordered calls, and she hasn't stayed on the phone like to receive her calls or anything. I guess I'm just confused by this. And you guys know, like, if a teenage girl, like, wanting to connect with her mom, having to live with her dad, and not to say that I'm sure that the dad is, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going through as a teenager through things and stuff like that. Like, sometimes teenage girls connect a little bit different or more closely to their mother than they do with their father. She does have a child by Eddie Murphy also, and that was a whole interesting situation too. This is really sad to hear. He's also a celebrity. He's also, I believe, and you could see it on his profile, but he's also a celebrity. So you guys are aware, he's an entrepreneur. He's in film, TV, and music. And I mean, he's got a lot of celebrity status. He's been hanging out with a lot of celebs. He is also, it sounds like he's also kind of connected to an artist in the Warner Brothers record artist studio. So he's got a lot of names under his belt too. This is what, okay, hold up. Roberta says this is what his side is saying. It doesn't make it true. That is true. I mean, that is true, Roberta. You're right. But I'm just saying, like, this isn't, I never really thought about it on this side as well. But you're right. We never really know. So she's also going to have time to respond to this lawsuit, right? And maybe bring forth something that's going to say what's going on here, Hey, kick me out. Welcome, everybody, for those that are coming in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Okay. Hey, Kim, everybody, and Kitty, I see everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for hitting that like button. Okay, and then Phoenix is 25, Angel is 17, Madison is 12. Squirrel SPT. Shout out to the Squirrel SPTV. These are the ages of the children. Is that what you're talking about, Squirrel? Let me know. I think I read something about him being in the background of the calls. Don't quote me on that. Gotcha. Is that what she's alleging too? He's got a shady past. You need to do a deep dive on that guy. All right. Let's keep reading, and y'all let me know. But if this is interesting though, honestly, to hear this side of the lawsuit, because I didn't know about this side. But let's keep reading, okay? All right. So here we go. Attached as Exhibit 1 is message report from our family wizard showing Ms. Brown's frequent rejection of MB's calls. In 2017, Ms. Brown withdrew the temporary restraining order against Mr. Belafonte in the family court proceedings after it became clear that she had no evidence to support her false claims, allegations against him, and more importantly, after Mr. Belafonte came forward with documentary and other evidence showing the falsity of her allegations. Nevertheless, the damages had already been done. As a result, Ms. Brown false allegation of rape, illegal gun possession, sex trafficking, production of illegal pornography, domestic battery, and child endangerment. Mr. Belafonte lost access to his home and children. Further, Mr. Belafonte was treated like a criminal and subjected to a raid of his home. I think I saw pictures of that because TMZ reported that. Conducted by the FBI, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF, and local police. Investigations by these bodies of law enforcement concluded in no charges against Mr. Belafonte. Having abandoned her battle against Mr. Belafonte family court, Ms. Brown decided to spin a false narrative about Mr. Belafonte in court of public opinion, knowing that the public would be sympathetic towards her given her large fan base and status as a famous, internationally renowned celebrity. In contrast, Mr. Belafonte is not a public figure, and does not enjoy the same capability to control the public narrative about him. I think you can make an argument about whether he is or he isn't a public figure, because the way I see it, I mean, people can say that you are if you've been doing, I guess it depends on the definition of where that is exactly, where that would be defined as. Mel did not speak to her mom and her family for years because of he isolated her. I'm not saying she's an angel by any means. Gotcha. Is it just me, or can anyone else see what the abuser is doing? Oh, Chell, you believe, like, do you think that let me know your thoughts. Chell, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Cause like this is us welcoming this conversation. Okay. Dr. Sophie, that's right. Dr. Sophie. That they're friends with Mel B. Yeah, I would think Squirrel SP that would make him a public figure. But I don't know. I mean, by definition, that would make you a public figure. I just read his credentials. I just think that might be disputable in court about whether he is or he isn't a public figure. Um, yeah. Okay, let's keep reading. Miss Brown leveraged her celebrity status to portray herself as a domestic abuse victim in order to market and sell a memoir laden with egregious lies. This has enabled Miss Brown to build herself a new career and enrich herself at the expense of Mr. Belafonte's reputation and emotional well being. In private, however, Miss Brown bluntly admits that charity does not pay the bills. Charity doesn't pay the bills, and that her true intentions are to leverage her charitable appeal for further sales, celebrity, and opportunity. Screenshot of text messages from Ms. Brown to fellow member of the Spice Girls are reproduced directly below, demonstrating Ms. Brown's disdain towards charity work. Ooh, okay. And then it has Jerry's name in here, who's the other Spice Girl. I hope nobody ever hacks your text. I believe we should do something good, and kicking off with a charity gig would be hugely positive. The power of our brand is enormous, and all our work is off the back of it, including Vicky. We will get something sorted. We'll get something sorted. I have no doubt. Back to the breast pump. Oh, these text messages are so blurry. Why my texts are something to me anyway. So no need to worry. Like I said, charity doesn't pay the bills. Everyone's not that something. Anyways, happy Friday. Keep me posted. Okay. So I guess he's trying to say, like, she is not this person, this charitable person that she portrays herself to be. Whew. I mean, is everybody I don't know. I think a lot of you could make the argument that a lot of celebrities aren't very charitable. Those messages are the story in the paper is about what you're talking about. Gotcha. Let me know. Chel's like, she's no longer with them, but he's still torturing her. Is that what you think this lawsuit is about? Because I'm kind of wondering, like, let me know your opinion. They've been divorced for a couple years, but I mean, Chel, what do you feel about the fact that she doesn't have custody of the child that they have together? Let me know, Chel, what you think about that. Like, what do you make out of that, especially if she made those allegations against him? I guess that's my question is, what do you make about that? You think it's about money? Yeah, Chel, but let me know what you think. Like, if I don't know about you guys, but like as a mom, if this is the case and I'm going through this with my, husband or ex-husband or whatever, I wouldn't want him having custody of my kid, Chel. But let me know, like, what do you make of that piece? Like, why would you allow this man to have custody of your child if if the abuse has been so extensive? It does kind of make you wonder. Kim says perhaps she's a diva. There's a lot of reports out there. Her DV could be retaliation against her reporting. Oh. Oh, okay. That, do y'all see what I'm saying? But why has Tina, but why has he got their daughter? Right. Like, thank you so much, Jane. You do have to kind of wonder that. But Chell, I'm curious to know what you think too, because I know you feel some type of way about this, and I love that you're expressing that. So I want to know what you think. He could have poisoned the child against her, or threatened if she had contact. So many. I have a lot of questions. You see, I honestly do know about their daughter. I don't understand that part. She could have been threatened to leave the daughter. You think so? See, but this is where I would be like fighting, girl. I would be like, so I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep reading, okay? So, since reinventing herself as the spokesperson for abuse victims, Ms. Brown has turned her lies into a full blown career as a charity ambassador for Women's Aid, a UK based organization for women escaping domestic violence, and gained further celebrity from a book written to profit from those lies. Upon information and belief, Miss Brown is enriching herself through her charity ambassadorship at Women's Aid. More shockingly, Miss Brown's egregious lies about Mr. Belafonte resulted in her appointment to the most excellent order of the British Empire, the MBE, a British order rewarding one's contribution to, among other things, charitable and welfare organization. When the cameras were off, however, Miss Brown waged a destructive campaign of abuse of her own, reaching nearly everyone around Mr. Belafonte's and their children or their child's orbit. She called their daughter's dentist in Los Angeles from the UK to falsely inform them of a restraining order against Mr. Belafonte and that he physically abused her. Whoa! Attached as Exhibit 2 is correspondence to MB's dental office detailing Miss Brown's false statements, resulting in continued delay of MB's dental care. She called the police to perform a so called welfare check on MB. When MB, Mr. Belafonte, and Mr. Belafonte's sister all informed her that MB was fine, she lodged false police reports claiming that MB had no bed to sleep on and no food to eat, in an effort to manipulate the Child Protective Services. And this is around the time that Mel B was friends with Dr. Sophie. And who was Dr. Sophie? He was the head of DHS. Y'all remember that? And Dr. Sophie was going to court with Mel B. Tina's like, why isn't she keep it? I don't know. I mean, I'd like to understand that piece too a little bit more. I like to understand that, but that's just me. Okay, let's keep reading. Further, Miss Brown did and continue to perpetuate and publicize the false narrative of Mr. Belafonte as a violent and abusive man from 2018 until the present through the relentless media appearance and interviews. Specifically, in 2018, defendant published false and defamatory statements wrongfully accusing Mr. Belafonte of domestic violence, emotional abuse, and financial abuse in a Sunday Times best-selling autobiography titled Brutally Honest. The defamatory publication were then republished in 2024 with 3 additional chapters to the book, as well as changes and updates within the original chapters in an effort to cause even greater damage to Mr. Belafonte's reputation. That's interesting. So she added 3 more chapters and added more pages to this. Ooh, okay. Are you talking about the other case on the TikTok case? He said that, oh, that one. I heard that one went viral. And then it turns out that he's connected to Scientology. Monica, I just heard about that one too. You said ring a bell there. What's wrong? What's wrong that she couldn't even get custody with DHS support in there? He wasn't right in her head. I'm almost caught up. Ooh. Okay. All right. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments, okay? Let me know what you think in the comments, okay? So all right. So in from 2018 to the present, Ms. Brown had also published the same or similar false and defamatory statements regarding Mr. Belafonte at a numerous high-profile talk show and press interviews in the United States, including, among others, The View, The Tonight Show, The Late Late Show, Today with Hoda and Jenna, and The Jennifer Hudson Show. Ms. Brown did so to ensure that her false and defamatory statements would be published and republished in the United States. Okay. The wrongful publication of defamatory statements by defendant, which portrayed Mr. Belafonte as a cruel, manipulative, and violent spouse, have severely harmed and continue to harm Mr. Belafonte. As a result, of of defendant's defamatory statements, Mr. Belafonte has received hundreds of hate comments and messages on social media, as well as threatening messages from strangers that, on information and belief, are fans of Miss Brown. A small sampling of the hate messages received by plaintiff is attached to Exhibit 3. Okay, so we have exhibits to go through. Accordingly, the widespread publication of defendant's defamatory statement has not only injured Mr. Belafonte's mental health, but it has also endangered his and his daughter's life. Mr. Belafonte now brings this action to hold defendant accountable for the blatant lies, defamatory publication that she published, republished, and spread about Mr. Belafonte to a worldwide audience. Mr. Belafonte also seeks damages and injunctive relief from the severe emotional distress caused by Ms. Brown's intentional and outrageous actions. Mr. Belafonte seeks injunctive relief, corrective relief, and monetary damages. The parties. Mr. Belafonte is an individual residing in Miami. Okay, so these are the parties. And then, of course, Mel B. We're going to skip the jurisdiction change of venue thingy, whatever. Facts relevant to all claims. Mr. Belafonte is a film and television producer, director, and talent manager. Now, this is where the argument becomes that he is a public figure based on, I mean, this is where I'm like, I know he doesn't like public attention, maybe based on what's been said, but this would make you, I think, a public figure if you are a film, television producer, director, and talent manager. That's my thought. That's my thought. Yeah, he's got the burden of proof. So he's got to prove he wasn't violent. I'm sure she's got plenty of receipts. I hope that she brings those out. But if she's disclosed this all in the book, it does kind of make you wonder. You think this is not about healing? You think it's more about damages? Ooh. Really, Ginger? Is that what you think? But I think she's struggling because of what she's been through. She's not crazy though, like he wants us to believe. Well, we gotta listen. But I'm just saying, like, some of this stuff should be settled in court, right? That's how I see it. God, you said 124 pages tells me the abuser talks a lot to defile the others. Oh my goodness. Ooh, Katie's on spot. All right. Okay. Y'all ready? Should we continue to read? You guys are good? Roberta's like, he loves the attention. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's right. She wrote a book. What she wrote, like, I think she wrote 3 books total. And 2 of those were pertaining to like all the allegations. See, Kim's like, listen, he got 124 pages. If it was real evidence, would he need 124 pages worth of trust? You think, Kim, it seems like a lot of it is like repetitive to a certain degree. Like, yeah, it's almost like show me the money, at this point, just show me what you got. I hear what you're saying. Miss Brown is one of the 5 members of the world-renowned English girl group, the Spice Girls, formed in 1994. The Spice Girls are best-selling girl group of all time, having sold 100 million records worldwide and amassed a number of high-profile awards in music. All right, so we read that part. You already know who the Spice Girls are, what they're worth. The Spice Girls continue to enjoy fame. In addition to touring success, Spice Girls are iconic cultural phenomenon. Yes, they are. Miss Brown and Mr. Belafonte began dating in 2006. The couple married in June 2007 in Las Vegas. Miss Brown gave birth to MB in 2011. So if she's 2011, so how old would their daughter be? If it's 2011, y'all, let me know. Those that can do the math from 2024. It doesn't give her date of birth, but it gives her birth year. So Mr. Belafonte had 1 daughter by a previous relationship, GB, and Miss Brown had 2 daughters, one by a previous marriage and second by AB by Eddie Murphy, the actor and comedian, whom Miss Brown dated for approximately 3 or 4 months. So she's in her teens. She's in her teens, right? You thought the Pussycat Dolls? No, Shauna B. Nothing like the Spice Girls. I mean, if I'm a millennial, so the Spice Girls would be by like my era, right? I mean, I remember, oh my God, Spice Girls was Spice Girls was the thing. There's Flossie. I was asking about you. She said, Flossie, she sued Eddie for more child support in 2020 to up it from 25K to 35K a month when she divorced Belafonte because her earnings capacity and income had diminished. Why is that Eddie's issue? Are you serious? Wait. So Scary Spice sued Eddie Murphy for more child support in 2020. Flossie, I don't know if you can send me that or let me know where I can find the link to that. Where did you find this? So she sued Eddie Murphy for more child support in 20. Is this child support? Does she have custody of that child? Let me know that that's the case, because then if she doesn't, then we have an issue. Flossie, does she have custody of this child? I'm assuming so. If you're suing for that much in 2020 for up to 25K to 35 a month, when she divorced Belafonte because her earning capacity and income had diminished. Why is that Eddie's issue? But this was based on what Belafonte said in his lawsuit. She just got pregnant. So she does have custody of that child. But damn, like 25,000 a month, 35,000 a month for child support? Thank you, Flossie. So Maxine says that Eddie Murphy denied the child until they had a DNA. She's 17. That's interesting. Well, once she turns 18, she'll be able to talk about this whole situation, because I had heard some stuff on Eddie Murphy's child, and what I heard was really, really sad. I heard some stuff. Matter of fact, Gary dropped information on someone's child in there. So y'all got to go and watch that interview with Gary, because that'll tell you something. Chell says after Mel's divorce from but how is that possible if the court gave her the house? Like Belafonte had to move out. That's what the lawsuit says. Now I'm kind of curious. Okay. See, this is Chell, you got to tell me, man. Like, how is that possible? Because he just said something different in the lawsuit. I swear I read that. I read that. Let me keep reading, okay? Because we're almost done here with the facts, or at least what they call the facts. Okay. I don't think they had a prenup. They were married for like 10 years. No. She had to pay a shitload of alimony. Ooh. All right. So Ms. Brown filed for divorce March 2017, which was settled in August of 2017 and finalized in 2018. Mr. Belafonte was awarded and continues to have primary custody of their daughter. Throughout their 10-year marriage and thereafter, Ms. Brown has demonstrated a pattern of publishing fake and defamatory statements about various individuals in her personal life, sometimes going as far as to accuse those persons of committing heinous crimes in retaliation for their honesty regarding her serious substance abuse problems. I heard about this. Allegedly, this is something that's been going on, that there have been substance use problems. Yeah, I will, Chell, definitely. I will. But I think, look, the truth lies somewhere in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, the truth lies somewhere in between this. You know? She was broke, so she had lived with her mom. Wow. Some state child support is based on income of 100%. So one makes 40% less than the other person would have to pay the outstanding 10%. Did I just make? I think so, Kim. I think so. Let's keep reading. So, for example, in 2017, Ms. Brown was sued for defamation by Lorene Giles, a former nanny that had taken care of the couple's children for approximately 7 years. Ooh, there's the lawsuit. The alleged defamatory statements in that action included that Ms. Brown public statements that Mr. Belafonte was having an extramarital affair with Miss Giles, got Miss Giles pregnant, and coerced Miss Brown into threesomes with Miss Giles. In fact, it was Miss Brown that had an intimate relationship with Miss Giles for nearly the entire 7 years of Miss Giles' employment. What? And Miss Brown's later admitted that her accusations regarding the affair between Miss Giles and Mr. Belafonte were false. Miss Brown attempted to dismiss Miss Giles' lawsuit on an anti-SLAPP grounds, was unsuccessful, and the denial of her motion was affirmed on the appeal because the reviewing court found that Miss Giles' lawsuit was rightfully filed. In 2019, Miss Brown paid Miss Giles the hefty sum of $1.8 million in satisfaction of a settlement reached in the lawsuit. A screenshot of the portion of the widely publicized TMZ article demonstrates Miss Brown's public admission regarding her relationship with Miss Giles is reproduced directly below. Oh my God. Mel B says, yeah, we had three ways with the nanny, but oh, okay, hold up. Let me make this bigger. It might. Oh, where'd it go? Hold up. Oh my. So they didn't have it. And so then the nanny sues and wins. Mel B is not disputing with what her former nanny claimed in her defamation lawsuit against the singer. On another occasion, in the interview with Piers Morgan, in or around March 2019, Miss Brown implied that she had a sexual, trias with fellow bandmate Jerry Holloway Horner in a statement released by Miss Horner's press representative. Miss Horner denied that there had been any sexual relationship between them, and Mel B and expressed disappointment and hurt that Miss Brown would propagate such false statements. In 2018, Miss Brown falsely accused Rusty, a nanny formerly in her employ, another nanny formerly in her employ, of sexual assault of her children in retaliation for Rusty confronting her about her heavy drinking. Hold up. Am I reading this correctly? So in 2019, Mel B falsely accused another former nanny that she employed of sexually assaulting her children in retaliation. She confronted the nanny about her. The nanny confronted Mel about her heavy drinking, sexual relationships with strangers who frequent her home, cocaine use around the children, as well as neglect of their children. In video recorded evidence, Ms. Brown made these false accusations to several third parties who knew Rusty personally, going as far as to say that the nanny was fucking the children up the asshole. Are you serious? Oh my God. Oh my God. Be safe. Be safe. Really? So Mel B had another babysitter, and the babysitter confronts Mel B about her drinking. And what does Mel B do? Say that she touched the children? Oh my God. Well, be careful, please. That's wow. That is wild. Y'all know this? I had to reread that sentence again. You think, listen, wait a minute. So she gets confronted about the drinking. In a video recorded evidence, Miss Brown made these false accusations to several third parties. So they have video of this. They have videos of this. No worries, Bo. Shout out to you. I hope just stay safe, okay? In video recorded evidence, Ms. Brown made these false accusations to several third parties who knew Rusty personally, going so far as to say that the nanny was effing the children up on the. Okay. Moreover, Miss Brown lied that there had been a police investigation in connection with this alleged sexual assault, even though there was no such evidence and no related police reports had been filed. Ms. Brown was more interested in discrediting Rusty to members of the community than the emotional harm she would cause her family by spinning false sexual assault accusations. At the same time, Miss Brown's outrageous conduct regarding Rusty was calculated to cause Mr. Belafonte severe emotional distress, as it's demonstrated Miss Brown disregard of emotional psychological impact of sexual assault accusation on his children. So did she so okay, so there's video evidence where she admits that she lied about this? Is that what I'm hearing? That there's video evidence of this? I need to see the evidence. You're suing me? Don't sue me. I'm broke. Shout out to the glare. I'm broke. Look. If there's video evidence of this, she lied about this babysitter. How y'all feel about that one? Cuz I'm trying to understand this a little bit. Yes, there's video evidence of her saying that she lied, basically. That's what I'm hearing, Cynthia. But at the end of the day, is this an example of her lying? Is that what this lawsuit is trying to say? Or what exactly is it trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's video evidence of her lying about somebody else. And if she can lie about that person, has she been lying about Belafonte? I can see where this kind of goes that way, in my opinion. I don't know, y'all. This is too much. But anyway, this is what the lawsuit says. Not me saying it. This is what the lawsuit says. Additionally, Miss Brown was sued in 2019 by an employee of hers. There's Gary. We interviewed Gary over here. Y'all remember that interview? For, among other claims, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Gary alleged in his lawsuit that Ms. Brown's psychiatrist, Dr. Charles Sophie, wrote prescriptions for controlled substance, Dr. Sophie name, intended for use by Miss Brown, so to avoid detection. Yeah, y'all remember, and they settled that lawsuit. Dr. Charles Sophie had to pay Gary for this situation here. Okay. I think he had to pay him like $50,000. We saw a little bit of that. Gary told us to. That lawsuit is out there. Dr. Charles Sophie allegedly, based on this lawsuit, used Gary's name to write prescriptions meds. And allegedly, it said it might have potentially been, in my opinion, don't take that as fact, it might have been for Scary Spice. Okay? Listen, I'm not saying that Belafonte is an angel. I don't think he is whatsoever. But I also don't think Mel B is an angel as well. I don't think any of these, like I said, sometimes you have to understand that, some of these folks like Scary Spice, the Spice Girls, all these folks, these are people that we at one point, especially as a millennials, that we might have been fans of, that we might have idolized, but we were children then. We have to understand that there's so much more to this than what we, know or don't know. You know what I'm saying? They're both no angels. I would give you that. I don't even think, even though a lot was said about Amber Heard, I don't think both of them are angels whatsoever. I don't think any of them. Like, when it's a relationship like this, we just don't know. We only hear one more side. You think that there's more to this, says Tina. I believe the Dr. Sophie thing more than I believe this whole lawsuit, says Kim. Really? Two can tango. Maybe both. But it's potentially, but I mean, if it shows that Mel B has a track record of lying, that's what she does. I mean, we don't know these people personally, we don't. And God knows what happens behind closed doors for both of them. All right, so to avoid detection, yada yada yada, we know about this case. By the way, it's the case number is there. Upon information and belief, Gary and Mel B have settled this dispute for an undisclosed sum. Ooh, undisclosed sum. Throughout their marriage, Mr. Belafonte slowly pulled back from his own career as a film and TV producer instead focused on assisting Miss Brown's career by serving as her manager and landing her business deals and various gigs as an artist. The couple's marriage was heavily impacted by Ms. Brown's serious substance abuse problem, which includes the abuse of cocaine, alcohol, prescription drugs, including but not limited to antidepressants, Valium, as well as dangerous combinations of foregoing drugs with alcohol. For much of their marriage, Mr. Belafonte was deeply concerned for Ms. Brown's health and well-being, as well as the health and well-being of their children, as evidence attached. There's exhibits to this. A text message from plaintiff to defendant concerning her efforts to stop drinking. While under the influence of drugs and alcohols, Ms. Brown hallucinated, made up false stories, remembered them sober, and blamed Mr. Belafonte for her behavior, making him the enemy because he was the only one that would confront her about her addiction problem or drunken and intoxicated episodes. Mr. Belafonte implored Miss Brown to seek help in connection with the rampant alcohol and drug abuse. In response, in an effort to deflect blame from her substance abuse and her irresponsible behavior while under the influence, Miss Brown would lash out at Mr. Belafonte and hurl abusive verbal attacks at him or blame him for irresponsible behavior. And these are the attached exhibits. Okay, so they got exhibits. All right, let's get it. Where are we at? Demonstrated abusive behavior. Miss Brown's intoxicated episodes grew so frequent and so out of control that in order to protect her and help her and her therapist understand the extent of her actions on a handful of occasions, Mr. Belafonte took the video of Miss Brown's acting out violently and inappropriate, such as when she tried to pound vodka shots with her teen daughter, or when she left their London apartment in the middle of the night in her pajamas to get a glass of wine. But despite Mr. Belafonte's intentions, Ms. Brown turned his acts against him publicly and falsely charged him. Whoa. Throughout their marriage, Ms. Brown would also frequently ridicule Mr. Belafonte's physical appearance, medical condition. For instance, on at least one occasion, Ms. Brown made disparaging remarks to at least one third party about Mr. Belafonte's experience with lupus, autoimmune illnesses with severe symptoms, screenshots. So there's, oh my God, you just get it, but it makes worse if you stress out, if you smoke and drink, do not work out if he is fucked. You can't have sex properly when it's bad. So many nights I would lay beside him and he would have a seizure so bad and would make me go to the clinic sleep centers with him. It got so bad towards the end that he slept in his car, sat up because he couldn't control his seizures. When he would wake up from a seizure, I would pretend you didn't have one because I was so scared that I was what I seen, and it was so disgusting to watch. Looked so painful, and his whole body would shake. It was like he was having an epileptic fit, and then he couldn't breathe or walk or talk. He's living in hell. His whole entire body constantly in pain. That's why his brain does not properly work, and he sometimes forgets his name. Mid sentence forgets that he's even talking. Haha, girls think they do want to fuck him. Haha. When do they get disgusted when they have to sleep next to him with his sleep apnea and seizures from his lupa? Yuck. It's so horrid when you have to lay next to him and his disease. Somebody asked, what is lupa? I knew you were going to ask me. It's a medical science. It is true that medical science has not yet developed a method for curing lupus, and some people do die from the disease. It's bad. He loses his memory, his words, his body goes numb, he has seizures, his skin crawls, his eyes look red, and his face changes color, goes pale. It's awful, horrible disease. So I guess I didn't know he had lupus. Wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy. I know the text messages are so long. Lupus. It's not lupa, it's lupus, but they spelled lupa in there. I That's crafting with crazy. That's what the message is. You see what I'm saying? Like it gives a different, oh my God. Like it gives a different whole different thing. I mean, but like I said, nobody's perfect in this, nobody was perfect in this relationship. I'll give you that. But he's trying to defend himself, and I think that that's what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, I guess the lupus got so bad that he was sleeping in his car. What if he wakes up and tries to drive? I don't know. But I mean, this is in the lawsuit though, Snowy YP. I think that's he's just trying to make the argument. I think that's why the messages are there. Oh my god. And then there's more. And then there's more. Lord have mercy. All right, I got to oh, there's that picture. You said it's so convoluted. Okay, let me keep going a little bit more and then so we can keep going. I'm going to try to like read through it and not stop because it's a lot. Miss Brown's text messages disparaging Mr. Belafonte's appearance and lupus symptoms is reproduced directly below. Miss Brown's deliberate pattern of ridicule and disparagement was outrageous and calculated to cause Mr. Belafonte severe emotional distress. In fact, on at least one occasion, after falsely claiming in public and in court that Mr. Belafonte was threatening to publicize sexual content of her, Miss Brown shared a video depicting Mr. Belafonte engaging in sexual activity with a third-party individual. Plaintiff was forward and currently holds a copy of said message disseminating the reference video. Furthermore, on occasions, Miss Brown would call Mr. Belafonte repeatedly if he failed to answer the phone, or would engage in a pattern of sending him text messages of jealous and spiteful nature. Miss Brown sometimes did this while the couple were apart and staying in different time zones, such that it was daytime in Australia or United Kingdom, where she was working and nighttime in Los Angeles where Mr. Belafonte was sleeping, thereby interrupting Mr. Belafonte's sleep. Miss Brown's deliberate pattern of harassment was so outrageous and calculated to perturb Mr. Belafonte and cause him severe emotional distress by way of example, and not, oh Lord, limitation screenshots of conversations showing pattern of harassment inflicted by Mr. Brown as reproduced below. Are you here tonight or not? Why? So you can make plans with you? Yes, I wanted to take you somewhere, silly. You gonna surprise me? Stop being a little bitch and answer me. Oh my god. Then if you're around, want to come set up today? And then there's this go fuck yourself message. It's kind of hard to read of the screenshots. But these are printed text messages, I guess. I don't know. Additionally, at least another occasion in November of 2020, Ms. Brown was photographed by paparazzi in a public setting in London in what appeared to be an extramarital affair with Tamer Hassan. Who's Tamer? For example, the Daily Mail ran an article entitled "Look Away, Stefan. Mel B gets very touchy-feely with hard man actor Tamer Hassan." Okay, so subjected Mr. Belafonte to ridicule and emotional distress. Further, Mr. Belafonte would come to learn that Miss Brown did have an extramarital affair during her London trip in November of 2010. Since that time, the couple's timeline went downhill, and Mr. Belafonte trusted in their marriage was irreparably broken. Oh, Lord. So these are the pictures. And it keeps going. In April 2017, in the course of the divorcing proceedings, Miss Brown took this psychological warfare she was waging against Mr. Belafonte to an unprecedented heights. Mel B applied for a temporary restraining order against Mr. Belafonte, submitting a declaration in support of thereof, the TRO declaration dated April 2nd of 2017. The TRO falsely charged Mr. Belafonte with, among other things, brutal domestic violence, felony gun ownership. Well, does he have a felony? Is he able to own guns? Kidnapping, extortion, financial abuse, cruel and malevolent behavior. Excuse me. Miss Brown submitted a TRO declaration which was outrageous at its face, with the specific intent to destroy Mr. Belafonte's personal life and reputation. Unfortunately, the court family in California granted Miss Brown's application for the restraining order, which resulted in Mr. Belafonte's removal from the marital home. Okay, I feel like we read this. Some of this is like really repeated. The statements made by Brown's TRO was intentionally malicious, made with the intent to deliberately inflict humiliation, mental anguish. A temporary restraining order was granted as a result of the outrageous charges made in the declaration. Let me keep going, y'all. In particular, the TRO declared that Miss Brown fabricated the whole cloth specific incident in which Mr. Belafonte supposedly beat her. One such fabrication indicated in the TRO declaration is recounted as followed. In July 2012, while I was taping X Factor in Sydney, Australia, I was sent by the show to New York to do what is called a home visit segment. Usher, the recording artist producer, was to appear in the segment with me. On the evening of the taping, Mr. Belafonte flew into a rage, claiming that I had been flirting with Usher all day. Mr. Belafonte was clearly jealous with reason. Mr. Belafonte punched me with a closed fist in the face, causing my lip to split and then swelling. I asked Mr. Belafonte how I was supposed to work with the swollen lip, and he told me that I should have thought of that before I decided to flirt with the Usher. To flirt and fuck with Usher. When I showed up on the set with the swollen lip, people began asking me, and I lied in order to cover Mr. Belafonte and told everyone that I had an allergic reaction to shellfish. My lip and lower portion of my face were swollen to the point that I had to be filled with a particular angle. I think it meant to say filmed, so that the injury would not show up on the taping. The producers called the doctor for me because my face was so bad. The doctor gave me a steroid injection in order to treat what I told him was an allergic reaction. I risked my own health by taking the medically unnecessary injection because of my fear of Mr. Belafonte and what he would do if I did not cover for him. So where is this publicated? Because this is pretty crazy right here. So then it says, but the so-called attack was a complete fabrication, as demonstrated by photos taken, including ones taken by a paparazzi the same night as Usher appeared in July of 25th, 2012. Exhibit 6. The first showing Miss Brown on set with Usher, and the second showing Miss Brown in the same outfit later that evening, where Miss Brown shows no signs of injuries. And less than 48 hours later, July 27th, after having brunch with friends, Miss Brown was back on the air making TV appearances. Okay. So there was no swelling, no split lip or anything like that. Okay, let me keep going. Totally fabricated the incident. That's what he's saying. Okay. I want to get to the part where those pictures are at. So Ms. Brown knew that the publication of the TRO would be publicated and they would kind of align with those statements. Moreover, Ms. Brown's outlandish accusations did not stop with the TRO declaration. Hold up. And let me see y'all because I got to head out, but I'm trying to get to the part. Unfortunately, Ms. Brown, this submitted a false statement to the family court. Hold up. Oh my God, this is a lot. I want to get to the part where a screenshot from the video then included an article written by Louise Gannon, published on The Suns, which depicted Miss Brown's bloody face and bruised up. So is he saying that this was... Oh my God. So based on... He didn't cause this? He didn't do this to this woman? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? Is he saying that this is false? Unfortunately, the widespread reporting about the party's divorce was only the first link to the extensive continuing false chain of events, defamatory narratives, publicized, perpetuated by defendant about Mr. Belafonte. The defamatory statement that are the subject of actions were made by the defendant and deliberate purpose of portraying Mr. Belafonte is okay. I feel like this a lot of this is repetitive. As part of the scheme to portray Mr. Belafonte as a malevolent spouse, Ms. Brown appeared in a public service style domestic violence awareness video in 2012 in which she is beaten bloody by an actor. The video garnered 1.3 million views and is available at the following link. Oh shit. Okay. So here it is. Hold up. Yeah, I mean, look at the thumbnail. Hold up. Oh Jesus. No, 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 no. I don't want to see this. This is her. Um so I guess is he upset that somehow it says a screenshot from this video was then included in an article written by Louise Gannon and published by the U.S. Sun on December 31st, 2012, which depicted Miss Brown's face bloody and bruised by makeup as it appears on the video. Okay. She provided no context whatsoever. She did not clarify that the bruise on Miss Brown's face are product of makeup applied on purpose for the domestic violence portrayal of the video. Rather, as shown below, the screenshot is captioned Mel B suffered during her horrendous abusive marriage. Oh, yeah. See, it's right there. So Mel B suffered through her horrendous abusive marriage. So P, there's a 2014 UK. There was one in 2014 UK where she was covered in bruises. That's interesting. And that's I think what is he referencing that in the article as well? So I guess people then assume that that was him. Look at this. Mel B's ex-husband Stephen Belafonte jets into London hours after the singer appeared in covered in fake bruises for shocking video to highlight domestic violence. Oh my gosh. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this because this is too much. Let me link and I'm already out of breath. Hold up. Did somebody just bless me? Oh, Flossie, thank you for the 5. Shout out to you, Flossie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Lord, I'm out of breath. Hold up. What'd you say? You sent me a message too. Check Twitter inbox. Ooh, this is so cute. Thank you, Flossie. Let me check the Twitter. I just saw that it came with the cute little graphic. Hold up. Check your Twitter inbox. Okay. Thank you, love. Hold up. This is that filing is long and there's some repetitive parts. Oh, really, Laura H? Okay. I'll definitely have to look through we have to kind of look through some of the videos too to figure out like what was being said and everything. Hold up. You said Mel B settles defamation case with former nanny for 2.35 million reports. I saw that report. He does talk about this. So she lied about the nanny, right? On the threesomes. So she settled about that. Okay, hold up. Now let me go back a little bit. Oh, here it is. The Jasmine brand had reported on this too. Eddie Murphy to pay Mel B $35,000 a month in child support. Court says he is an extraordinarily high earner. Oh shit. So both entertainers agreed to adjust amount for their daughter. And her name is there. Gosh, she's gorgeous. According to the court docs, the new payment will start at the end of October. This will continue until their daughter turns 18. Wow. So I wonder if does Eddie Murphy have a relationship with his daughter too? So Mel B will be responsible for the additional costs such as health insurance, healthcare, extracurricular activities, and educational expenses. Wow. I mean, listen, I cannot. You said, wait, click the link. I'm not clicking. So Lauryn Hill's being sued too? For what? Not the taxes. I have to stop, yo. This is really long. You said Eddie Murphy sketch. Listen, what do you guys think about Mr. Stephen Belafonte and the lawsuit? Y'all think that there's more to this? You guys think it needs to be looked at? I mean, let me just say this. If this man feels like he has been lied on, then let the court, I've said it before and I'll say it again on other court stuff. Let the court decide that. Let the evidence, let a judge review that and figure out if, Mel B had lied. Now, she settled the other lawsuits. I need candy. I need me a drink. Even though I don't drink, but I need me a drink. Listen, even though it just let the court decide what's true on this at this point, because we really, all we can do is go through this and stuff like that. But I'm glad that there's a lawsuit there, so if he lied, maybe there's going to be, or she lied or whatever. But it sounds like he settled other lawsuits. He settled with Gary, he settled with others. It does kind of make you wonder what's up now. I don't think that any of these two are perfect angels. I think there's probably more to this than what we know, than what meets the eye. Okay. All right. All right. Flossie, thank you for sending me the 5 and the articles. Shout out to you. Thank you so much, love. You are awesome. But this is too much. This is too much, you guys. Like too much. All right. You send me, check your email. I sent you the pic. Okay. Okay. You said sounds more like mutual dysfunction. Sounds like a lot of dysfunction, I do have questions about Dr. Charles Sophie and the friendship. And like I said, Gary settled that lawsuit. Allegedly, based on that lawsuit, Dr. Charles Sophie was writing scripts under Gary's name. It does make you wonder, like, what's the tea there? Thank you. There's the this is the picture that you're talking about. Oh, Lord have mercy. Wow. Well, and is this the picture that's covered in the lawsuit too? Makes you wonder. I'll have to check this out. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. It does make you wonder. That's the picture. Thank you so much, Chell. Shout out to you for sending this to me, and you too, Flossie. I think it's we'll have to look into this a little bit more, of course, but I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. I got stuff to do. I'll be live later because I want to talk about we gotta talk about this. Like, I is this a new baby reindeer situation with Clayton and Laura Owens? Like, that is I'm just getting my feet wet right there, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. Okay. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys hit the like button. Thank you for supporting my channel. Shout out to you guys. Hit the like button, and I'll see you guys later on, maybe. All right. Bye, guys.